You know what? I think I messed up. There's not a single army or a warband in my collection that will be suitable for this kind of base coat. It looked a lot less orange when I saw it on screen. How's it going, everybody? I am Xerxes, you're in my workshop, and in this first episode of the experimental WARGAMER'S vlog, I'm going to show off for the next less than 10 minutes. I'm going to show you what I've done in my wargaming hobby so that you can get inspired and maybe do something amazing yourself. So, the first order of business. I decided to grab some spray paints and I use them for priming my minis instead of an airbrush. Because, you know, it's great having fancy tools and all that. So I picked up these. They are for graffiti artists. So I picked Escadi green and oregano green. And yeah, this orange over there that I don't know what I'm going to use for. I wanted to use these paints to prime my Death Guard army, because Death Guard is pretty much my main army in Warhammer 40k. I thought it would be a cool idea to create a video about speed painting. Hopefully speed painting without using the airbrush. They are quite interesting, because what the company offers are these. I don't know if you can see them, kind of contorting myself. These are spare caps. Yeah? They're supposed to have different diameters, I would say, to create smaller or wider sprays. I wanted to test them out to see how accurate they can be. So I grabbed two of my Death Guard Marines and I did some experiments on them. The first thing I did, I grabbed a sheet of paper and just sprayed it, and I obviously changed the caps to see what's the difference. You can actually see it on screen. Wasn't really amazed. See, the thing about Montana paints is that they are low pressure, but the problem is they kind of splat the paint on the mini. There is a lot of paint that comes out from the can. I use Escadi green to kind of create a main coat, if you will, and then I use oregano green to create a zenithal highlight. By the way, I'm doing it inside. You shouldn't really do it. They add like a vanilla fragrance to the cans, so you can smell the solvent, but it still contains the solvent. So if you want to use them, you should do that outside. I was wearing a mask at the time, opened my windows, and that was the last thing I did in that room before going to bed. That was okay. What I found out was the fact that they are really opaque and there is quite a significant loss of details. They obviously not designed for spraying minis. That's why you can't really use them up close and utilize those different caps to full extent, because if you get really close, you'll lose all the details because the mini is just going to get smothered in paint. I left them to dry overnight and I did some further experiments. The first thing I did after they dried was a little bit of dry brushing. I used Vallejo Game Dead Flesh and then Ardennes Green from scale 75, and I watered it down to like a glazed consistency, and I glazed over the armor. And then I used an oil wash. My favorite type of washes. I mixed a little bit of green, sap green I believe that was, a little bit of brown and a little bit of black to create kind of military, not Agrax air shade, Athonian camo shade, that's the one, yeah. So something similar to that. And I washed the mini, then I removed most of the wash using mineral spirits, and I think I found my paint scheme for the Plague Marines when they eventually released them, because unfortunately it got delayed due to pandemic, so that's unfortunate, but that allowed me to kind of plan my budget a little bit. So I decided to pre-order the new season for the Underworlds. Already forgot the name. I was really agonizing sort of buying that box because I really like those Slaanesh models. I really like the way the Slaanesh army is going, you know, towards that Middle Eastern vibes. I really like that, so I dig it, Yeah, I'll be getting more Slaanesh units, that's for sure. What else? Scions of the Flame, yes, I'll be getting that warband as well, because I do enjoy playing Warcry, and I intend on creating like a massive Slaves to Darkness army that consists of various, you know, clans, sort of a ragtag team of monsters, ragtag army effectively, of monsters, different tribes, sort of put together, like, you know, the old school chaos. Something along the lines of Army of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. They had all sorts of mercenaries from all over the place, so that's the thing that I'm going for. Obviously all the books that I'll need, so the new annual Tome of Champions, yeah, that's Tome of Champions, yeah, that's the one. Then Agents of Chaos, yeah, because I'll probably need that. Dice look awesome because you can never have too many dice. Although my rolls are pretty crap, no matter what dice I have, so. As soon as I start releasing my battle reports, you'll see for yourselves. Yeah, I haven't actually pre-ordered it yet, but by the time you watch this video, I will have. So yeah, let's finish talking about spending money. Let's move on to what I've done. So I started painting another kill team. I do have some Militarum Tempestus, or whatever they're called. Basically old Karg skins, or something like that. The elite sort of stormtroopers. This is work in progress. They look a little bit kind of minty and greenish, but that's what I'm going for. Yeah, it contains elites, so it's a 125 point kill team of science. There is a bull green in there, and there is this lady. Forgot her name. The crazy chainsword lady. Let's leave it at that. She's pretty awesome. In case you're wondering about the paint scheme, I'm painting them. Let me check. Got me here. You know, GW and their naming tactics. Roin Cobras, the 62nd. Yeah, I'll put the picture on screen so you'll see what the final result's going to look like. I really like them. They are simple, I would say. Hopefully they're not gonna take too long. So I decided to grab my Scale 75s. I haven't used them to paint anything for quite a while, so I might as well. Oh, you can also see my Death Guard kill team out in the back. So they are waiting for the target practice, the science to appear. And also, I finished painting this guy right here. I'll put a close-up of him. I would really like to know what that mini is, because I have no idea, my friends have no idea, so if the YouTube hive mind knows, please let me know what that mini is, because he looks really awesome and it was fun painting him, and I would really like to know whom have I painted. Now, what else? I'm gluing. You know, the main thing that got me into Chaos was the Demon engines and all the, you know, the crazy animal-like machines that you just don't see very often, to be perfectly honest. So I glued this little fella right here and this guy. So I will be painting them in my Emperor's Children paint scheme. If you haven't seen it, the link's up there. Maybe you will utilize it as a fellow Chaos player. Now, on to terrain stuff. Two things, really. You can probably see it on my left-hand side, your right, on the shelf. There are some boxes with foam flock. So I've got Deathclaw Brown flock, Pink Horror flock, Ushabti Bone flock, and Elysian Green flock. Yes, that's what I use my GW paints for nowadays. I'm gonna paint my minis with them. Unless I'm challenged or something by someone else. So yeah, maybe. I will be using the flock for the new board build that I am planning. So I will be doing a Nurgle Garden inspired board. So there's gonna be a lot of green, there's gonna be a lot of sort of sickly colors, there's gonna be a lot of corpses. I was really looking forward to getting that new terrain for Death Guard so I could build it together, but to be honest I was actually thinking about splitting the whole Garden of Nurgle board into two parts. Part number 1 will be board itself, and then part number 2 will be the terrain to put on it, both for Kill Team or Combat Patrol and for Warcry or Age of Sigmar. So I'll have to kind of postpone the video number 2 with the terrain and release it the beginning of the the next year. Another kind of terrain thing, I stocked up on Lichen. Yes, I really like my Lichen, so all sorts of colors in here. So I will be using them for the Garden of Nurgle board. There are some really interesting colors in here. I've got Lichen for days. Yeah, that's what I've done over the past week in terms of my wargaming hobby. So, yeah. What have you done recently to progress? Any interesting paint schemes, or maybe some sort of terrain? Maybe you got a new box, thinking about starting a new army? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share it. That's it for the first episode. Let me know what you think. If you want to see more of it or not. That's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.